Hey everyone, my name is Noah Meehan on the Arc of Truth, and today we're going to be talking about the caravan. Now, everyone already knows about what's been going on with the caravan from Honduras to Mexico City, and very recently to Tijuana. I think I'm pronouncing that right, and even very close to the Mexican-U.S. border. But there's something that I would like to that I kind of want to point out. In fact, there's a lot of media organizations like Fox News and a few alternative media outlets, including those on YouTube right now, that are pointing this out. It's that people in Tijuana, they're not liking the situation at all. In fact, there was a protest that happened yesterday as a result of being completely against this whole caravan situation. I mean, after all, right now, the caravan is trying to cross into the United States, trying to claim asylum status, but at the same time is facing off with the U.S. military, with border patrol, and so on and so forth. So the caravan has just been, well, sitting there, or in some cases is sitting literally on the fence. So, as a result, this has become Tijuana's problem. And they don't really like this. After all, this is the same caravan that's been supported and organized by a large number of organizations that are definitely left-leaning and progressive. And even there's been cases of the Mexican police helping them out by escorting the caravan to their destination. There has been even some footage of migrants being given buses just simply so that they can get to the border easier and faster. Now, from what I can see from the situation in Tijuana, they do not like the situation, because since the caravan isn't really going anywhere until they either get their asylum status or they just or they don't, or if there's another course of action to do. It's basically Tijuana's problem, and no one likes that. I think it was when they were in Mexico City that a situation similar like this happened, because the caravan itself has been, since it's in the thousands, it has contributed to littering, just littering and just making a trash out of everything. If you guys want, and there will be a link to a video which will show the utter aftermath of the caravan traveling through one of those villages, and they threw away a lot of stuff, including donated clothes. I mean, seriously, donated clothes. They could have easily used that for something important, but apparently they're not so desperate. They're not as desperate as one might think. They would simply just get rid of the donated clothes altogether. So there has been a very large demonstration as a result. No one has liked this, because now it's Mexico's problem. The people of northern Mexico now have it as their problem. Now, I would like to say that this is kind of ironic, because just 2 years ago, and I admit this is not the entirety of every Mexican's opinion, but there's been a big backlash on Donald Trump when he wanted to enforce the borders, or more specifically, build the wall and make Mexico pay for it. Now, during that protest, there have been cries that say, Trump is right. This is an invasion. And again, it's just, I find it completely funny that's coming from Mexico itself. Now, again, I'm not saying that this is not that that was the opinion of every Mexican. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that sympathize with Donald Trump, but still, that made it seem like the public consensus at the time that no one really cared much for Donald Trump. In fact, they were antagonized by him, and they did not want to build the wall on their own expense. And in fact, there was even, especially from my nation's point of view, the idea of supporting illegal immigration, or at least from some people's point of view here in the States and from Mexico itself. But anyway, there has been a call to kick the Hondurans who were on this caravan out. And I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, I have no idea. I think that the longer that the caravan stays in Tijuana, the longer the resentment is going to be. The resentment is going to rise to great proportions, even worse than the protests that have occurred so far. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. If I were to make a guess that simply just pulling it out of my ass, I would have to say that it may lead to some violence as a result because of how the caravan is treating the situation. They've like I said before, in one of the earlier villages, they just threw trash in the streets, got rid of donated clothes, that sort of thing, and it was completely ungrateful. If the caravan remains in that state for a little while longer, I'm pretty sure conflict is going to brew between the local residents and the caravan itself. I think that's that would be the best conclusion. But to get into very big specifics on that sort of thing, I have no idea. And while I am against the caravan and definitely am against any asylum for them, unless there is a legitimate claim for asylum, I really hope that there isn't going to be any sort of violence. Again, this does not mean that I'm going to that I think we should allow them in. It's just that I hope that there will be a way to kick them out of the United States, kick them out of Mexico, bring them back in their own country, and do things the legal way without there being any violence of any sort. Because the longer this continues, that is what's going to happen. Other than that, I do not know the specifics. Again, the only hope is that this will not lead to violence. But this does also raise an important point too. Since the protests have been occurring, I think there's been something similar happening in Mexico that has happened in the United States. You know, with the 2016 election, with Donald Trump, that situation that occurred. There has been, even in the protests, a need for Mexico first. There is a lot of video footage that actually supports this. A few people that have actually shouted that out. Not just with Donald Trump being right on the invasion thing, but again with Mexico first. And I think that's going to lead to a rise in Mexican nationalism, and a greater support for enforcing the law. And hopefully this would lead to a positive change. This would lead to the end of corruption, maybe even help destroy some of the crime activities that's been plaguing Mexico, and even some of the corruption inside the Mexican government itself. Maybe that will be the result of Mexican nationalism. Let us hope that is the case. because Mexico needs help with that. And hopefully, the Mexican nationalists do focus on those issues and fix them. My name is Noah, me and I'm the Art of Truth. Please post your comments down below, subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Bye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.